You've been strumming the same chords over and over, but still can't turn them into a real song. Every time you pick up the guitar, it's the same loop, and no matter how many times you play it, nothing ever feels finished. And unless you change something, you'll keep wasting practice time without ever building the confidence to share your music. This video shows you how to take the chords that you already know and actually do something with them. You don't need to learn a bunch of new shapes to start writing real songs. In fact, most great progressions come from just 3 chords, and chances are you already know them. So how do you move from basic shapes to something that sounds intentional and finished? Let's begin with 3 chords that you likely already know. These are among the first chords that most guitarists learn: G major, C major and D major. Here's why these chords matter. G, C and D form what's called the 1-4-5 chords in the key of G major. And this group of chords is the backbone of thousands of songs across rock, folk, pop, punk, country and blues. They just work together. The reason they sound so solid is that they create a natural sense of movement and resolution. You start on G, move to C, build tension with D, and then resolve back to G. It feels like a full musical sentence. If you're playing these chords already, you're not just noodling around. You're working with a classic, proven structure. And when you see them as part of a system, you can start shaping full sections, not just loops. So if G, C and D are all that you've got, that's already enough to write full sections that feel deliberate and complete. 2 chords can get you started, but the third is what makes it feel like a song. So why does that third chord matter so much? See what you think about this next example of our progression. Here we saw a looping between G and C. It's fine, pleasant, but it gets repetitive quickly. With just 2 chords, your progression is harmonically boring. There's no real sense of build or release. The listener hears the same back and forth with no real journey. But listen to this example now. The third chord, in this case D, gives your song a destination. It introduces a feeling of lift and return. You can build up to it, pivot away from it, and resolve back to your tonic chord, which makes everything feel satisfying. 1 and 2 chord songs can absolutely work, but they lean heavily on rhythm, texture, or production to stay interesting. You can absolutely write a song with 2 chords, but adding a third instantly opens up emotional range, tension, and narrative potential. The 1, 4 and 5 chords are a key part of the songwriter's toolkit, but if you want to skip the trial and error and discover how to write songs that actually sound like you, click the link in the description below, and each week I'll send you the playbook that everyday guitarists need. Music theory can feel intimidating or irrelevant when all you want to do is write better songs. But what if it actually made things easier, not harder? Have a listen to this progression. Does it sound or feel familiar? Here we've got C, F and G, 2 of which we've already used, but now they serve a different role. This was another example of a 1-4-5 progression, but this time it was in the key of C major. That's the beauty of Roman numerals. They describe relationships, not absolute names. And once you know those relationships, you can write and transpose faster without learning a ton of new shapes. Theory also helps you sound more deliberate. Instead of fumbling around hoping something sounds good, you start to hear why certain combinations work. You stop guessing and you start writing with intention. Roman numerals just label relationships between chords, so once you understand 1, 4 and 5 in one major key, you can move that knowledge to any other. If you've ever felt stuck looping the same 3 chords, the problem isn't the chords, it's how you're using them. So what turns a simple loop into a full song section that actually goes somewhere? Have a listen to this next example and see if you can spot something that is widely used. This was a classic 12-bar structure. Although strongly linked with the blues, it also forms the backbone of countless rock and pop songs. A 12-bar form often feels complete because it has time to build tension and resolve it. But you don't have to follow it strictly. You can bend the rules, repeat the D chord longer, cut short a C chord for impact, or stretch out the return to G. You can also change the order of the chords. Starting on C instead of G creates a different feel. Ending on D adds suspense. Just because you've got 3 chords doesn't mean you have to play them constantly one after another in order. Even with just 1, 4 and 5, you can write intros, verses, choruses and more. It's all about how you structure and pace the changes. So you've got your 3 chords. Now what? If every combination sounds the same, you're missing the emotional why behind progression order. So what makes a chord feel like home or like you're heading somewhere new? Have a listen to these 2 chords we've heard already. How does this sequence make you feel? When you go from 5 to 1, that's called a perfect cadence. It feels strong and final. Now compare it to this example. 4 to 1, by contrast, is softer, more like a gentle return. That's called a plagal cadence. The 1 chord is like home. It feels stable, resolved, comfortable. The 4 and 5 chords pull you away from that home base in different ways. You can use this knowledge to your advantage. Have a listen to this version of by now familiar chords. Starting on 4 instead of 1 gave the progression a different vibe. It feels unsettled, with a bigger delay until we heard 1. You can guide the listener on a journey, create tension, move away, and then come back. That's what storytelling in songwriting is all about. Your job as a songwriter is to balance stability, the 1 chord, with tension, the 4 and the 5, to make the listener want to stay, leave, and come back again. If your progressions feel repetitive, most players try to fix it by adding new chords. But the real solution might be something much simpler. Take a look at this next example. I didn't use any new chords here, but instead changed the duration for which each chord was heard. You can create syncopation, surprise or groove without changing the harmony at all. Rhythm is often the missing ingredient in beginner songwriting. Just shifting the chord timing can make your progression feel brand new, even if the chords themselves haven't changed. But once you've chosen your chords and written a section, how do you keep it from sounding boring or repetitive? Check out this revised progression. That's where voicing comes in. Try playing G, C and D as open chords. Now try them as bar chords up the neck, or break them into triads. Each approach gives a completely different sound. You can also use inversions, flipping the chords so a different note is in the bass. This creates motion even when the chords stay the same. And power chords make everything sound more aggressive. Great for rock. Triads feel cleaner, more minimal. Inversions let you guide the bass line. Changing the shape, not the chord, can give your section a completely different feel. Bars, triads, power chords and inversions all do this in different ways. Now that you know how to turn your chords into full song sections, what happens when those sections don't quite fit together and your songs still sound clunky? Watch this next video where I'll show you 8 super practical ways to connect your verse and chorus smoothly so your songs sound intentional from start to finish.